Oh, it is recording.
Yay! We're having technical difficulties.
Oh gosh. Oh. Well,
Well,
so
good.
here we are.
Welcome, you guys. Yeah, welcome, you guys. I'm so glad you came for our little half-hour happy hour. And Coach Janie and I just were looking forward to just spending some time with you guys and just dialing in to see, you know, what's going on in your life and what fun things you can share. And Janie, what do you have to say?
Well, we can go ahead and get started. We've got 3 little questions that we want to ask you, and we'll just do them one at a time. But so we're going to go around the room, and we'll start with you, Mary. But the question is, what are and Jody, you will understand this because you were in the team page today. What is one word that would describe how you are feeling right now, and why? So, Mary, go ahead.
Did you have to start with me? Okay. One word, huh? Anticipating.
That's a good one.
How's that?
And why?
Oh, and why?
Uh-huh.
Not sure how the next couple weeks are going to come together yet.
That's good. How about you, Jody?
Well, I said my word was positive because I feel like I feel like I'm making some strides in my normal routine and feeling not as obsessive about food. So that's a good thing.
That's a great thing. And hi, Dave.
Yeah.
Hi, Janie.
Good. And what
he just
Dave,
was taking the dogs for a walk.
Oh, I was going to say, and Dave could chime in. What's one word he's feeling right now?
He's feeling like he's ready to be done watching the grand dog is what I'm thinking.
Oh, could be.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But Jody, you're doing such a great job. And think about where you were, 2 months ago or even 3 months ago. And I know the whole food thing at work has been, a bugaboo for you, but you're doing it,
Yeah, it's happening.
So it is happening, and that is fabulous. I think it's great. So
awesome.
Yeah, Marie, what about you? What's one word that describes how you're feeling right now?
Let's see. I would say my word is anticipation.
Okay.
And that's because I am done working full time tomorrow.
Yay!
And then my husband and I are going to have a whole week together without the dog because she's going to obedience school.
She's got a puppy.
Oh,
yeah, a little 7-month-old beagle who's driving us crazy.
I hear you.
So that I'm anticipating because we're going to clean up the house and get ready for Christmas.
Oh,
Nice.
That's exciting. So where's the obedience school, Marie?
It's in Grove City. It's not too far from here, but this gal has this business and she boards these dogs for 5 days and teaches them, and it's something that 2 mid-60s people with a puppy can't do.
Or don't want to either.
Or don't want to.
Don't have the energy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll be there for a whole week?
For 5 days.
Wow. And her name is Zoe, right?
Yep. Little Zoe. Plus, I just found out something's wrong with my hip today, so I got an x-ray. So I'm anticipating, finding out what that is. My doctor thinks, of course, it's arthritis, but I said, well, whatever it is, we have to deal with it.
And Janie, what about you?
My word, I believe, is joyful. And, I learned in a Bible study a long time ago, that there's a big difference between having joy and being happy. Happy is based on circumstances, and joy actually comes from being content in your heart, no matter what the circumstances are.
Mhm.
This has been an interesting time for us, starting the beginning of the year, me losing my full-time job, and then finally kind of getting things all organized and kind of figured out. And then in October, Rodney and his fall, and I call it his flipper, his bad flipper. And concerned about Christmas and everything else, but I'm just being joyful, so, and it's working out. So that's my one word.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. So Mary, what was the next thing we were going to ask?
What's your either favorite holiday, Christmas or holiday tradition or ornament or something that you would like to share that was special?
And Jody, would you like to start?
You want me to go? Sure.
Sure.
So my favorite holiday, let's see. Well, my favorite thing about the holidays or the tradition is just being with my family. That's definitely the best thing, no matter what happens or how. And it's all been weird ever since we moved away from Oregon because we're not around like we always were forever. But then the thing that I like to do, I decorate my tree all in purple, so I don't have very great old-fashioned ornaments. But I think that one thing that people who know me would not be very happy if I stopped making my cinnamon candy every year at Christmas. So, and I do like it for sure, but it's definitely I only make it at Christmas, and I've had people ask me to make it all times a year, and I'll only make it at Christmas. So people look forward to it, and that makes me happy.
So that's like gifts that you give away
Yeah.
to people, little treasures. That's neat.
Have you made it yet this year?
Yes, I have. Do you want me to show you?
Yes.
And I usually, so since we've lived since we've lived here, I've made these little gift baskets for people with all of the things of my tradition. Like, we also make these things that we call Sherbandi treats, and they're not very healthy, but I only make them that time of year too. But this is, let's see, I gotta get my camera in the right place. There's my candy.
Ooh.
Oh,
So
wow.
It's hard, like Jolly Ranchers.
Neat.
Nice.
Sounds
Well,
good.
it is fat free.
It's fat free.
Yeah, right.
That's been squeezed out of it, and there's no sugar, right?
No, I didn't say it was
Yeah.
sugar free. I just said it was fat free.
So fat free.
Tricky.
So you put that along with some other
Yeah, I put
Sherbandi?
that along with some, when my husband would go salmon fishing, we'd put that with some smoked salmon and some jerky from some boys that we went to high school with own Werner Jerky. And so we put with some of that. So just a little basket of all kinds of our favorite things or things that talk about us. And I don't know if everybody likes it, but that's what we do.
That's neat.
Well, and I'm sure they look forward to it, I would imagine, every year too.
Yeah, and there are some people that really, really like cinnamon candy, so they are, from Oregon, they're calling me and saying, "Are you going to send me some candy?"
Taking it with you, right?
Yeah, I do take it. And my mom always used to make it, but she's having a hard time this year, so I don't know that she's going to make any at all. And I know that there's a lot of people in Tillamook who will be sad about that. So.
What about you, Marie?
Oh gosh, my life's been kind of chaotic. I've been divorced, and I never spent the holidays with my kids. So the holidays aren't great. Plus, my parents were alcoholics, and that was always a time when it was tough. And then my dad died around the holidays, and it's like the holidays don't hold a lot for me. The only bright spot, though, are my grandkids, and I always look forward to preparing all the gifts and going to see them. They're 15, 12, and 10 now, so they're getting up there, but it's always good to be around them. They just, they're just such great kids, and my daughter's done such a great job with them. And my husband loves Christmas, so we usually have a little tree, and this year it's going to be up on the buffet. so that the dog can't get it. But we have tons of ornaments, but that's okay. You know, we can still make that little tree look sweet. And then our little tradition Stephen and I have is we eat cinnamon rolls on Christmas morning with coffee.
Oh,
That
that's
sounds
your
great.
that's your breakfast, Christmas breakfast, huh?
Yeah, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But this, you know, I've really got to watch that stuff because I've learned this year that that kind of stuff is really my nemesis. I cannot eat those carbs.
Mm-hmm.
But I probably will have some on Christmas Day. I'm into you know, not denying myself things that I like just because I have to eat differently.
Right.
So Marie,
And I'm not feeling guilty about it either.
Right.
are you doing the To Be mindset as well?
Yeah, I am. In fact, I've
Mhm.
got my little water jug right here.
Yeah, I have mine too.
Yep.
So do I.
Jody's
Yep.
got hers too.
Mine's in the kitchen.
Yeah, I love that program.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and
I
one
do
thing
too.
about
I think it's a pretty good fit for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's very important that, you know, I know these groups are great for me for positivity, and I also believe that we need to be cognizant of folks that have a hard time at Christmas,
Yep.
and what can we do to support them.
Yeah,
I agree.
that's true.
Yep.
I
So how about
mean, you know, that's just how I feel about it. You know,
There's a lot more.
sugarcoating
There's a
hard
lot more
times.
people. There's a lot more people that struggle with it than really admit it.
Oh, absolutely. Because, you know, gosh, if you're not feeling good at Christmas time, what's wrong with you? You know?
Yep.
Well, I think that it's becoming more and more commonplace that people are talking about how they struggle through the holidays. And I think that's a great thing because I don't think that people should hold back, I don't want to sound like Pollyanna, and
Yeah.
to realize that, that there are times in people's lives when they would just kind of like, it's like, I just want to get through this. I just want to get through this. But yet I feel like I have to put on a happy face about it.
So
You know,
Marie, you should go with me to see the Muppets on Sunday.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Okay,
You
let's
know,
do it.
one thing about that you said, Jamie, is I have a friend right now whose husband's in the hospital with a collapsed lung, and it doesn't seem to be healing. So, you know, she's taking care of herself. Like she said, she took a bath today and relaxed. But her husband went through a critical health issue, and you can identify with this before. And they both ended up in psychotherapy. And what they told them was that if you don't take care of yourself during a crisis, you end up with PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what happened to them. So this time, my friend is taking care of herself better.
Good.
And I think that's a really important thing to remember. You got to take care of yourself.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm so proud of all of you who are here and all of you who are in our group but not here, taking this on this time of year, because only 6% of all Americans do something healthy for themselves during this time period. They just throw up their hands and go, whatever, I'll just worry about it after the first.
In January.
Yeah.
So
I've done that many years.
Yeah, well, I have too.
Me too.
I feel so much better now that I've been taking care of myself in December. So come January, it's not just like getting hit over the head with a brick. Where do I even start? So, I just kind of continue on doing what I'm doing. So good job, you guys. So Mary, what about you? I'm going to show you.
So I think my favorite tradition is Christmas Eve services. And, when I was growing up, we had 3 different Christmas Eve services at our church, and my dad went to all of them.
Wow.
Really?
He went to every one of them, and there was like a break, like there was an earlier one, and then like a late afternoon one, like an early evening one, and then the midnight service. So what my parents did, this is one of my favorite memories, is what my parents did is between the evening one and the midnight one, they would open up their house and have an open house. And all the people in the congregation that didn't have family nearby would come over, and they would all bring something to share. And that was like the most fun time. That was just like my parents' heart, just to share with people who were going through a hard time and didn't have family to spend, they couldn't get to be with their family on Christmas Eve. And so that was just, they felt like that was their calling, and it was always really fun.
Nice.
So that's a good memory. The other thing, and I haven't done this the last couple years, but I think I need to do it again, because I do struggle with the blues sometimes during Christmas too. Probably a lot of the same reasons that Marie shared. I've been through a divorce, and I couldn't even share like a favorite Christmas ornament because I don't have any. My husband and I, now we've been remarried for 10 years, but we didn't invest in Christmas stuff. We have a 3-foot tree, and they're all like very plain ornaments. So when I went through my divorce the last time, I divvied up all the ornaments and gave them to the kids. They all have them. And so when I go over to my daughter's house, I get to enjoy them and spend some time with them there. But one of my favorite traditions that I started when I was going through all of that 10 years ago was trying to find something new, a new tradition to make it special for me, which was I did handwritten letters, long ones, like a page long, to all the people that meant a lot to me. And that was like my special thing. And I could never, and some of them I would actually read to them out loud through my tears, so, and I haven't done it the last couple of years because I got to the point where I was like, I don't know if I can do this again. But I thought I was in a little bit better. I thought I was in a little better place this year where I feel like I might be able to get that done and do it again.
Wow, that's quite a gift.
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. That's a really great gift.
Because
I might try that this year.
Yeah.
People don't, handwritten letters and cards and notes have a lot become kind of a thing of the past. I mean, our
I know, and I love that stuff.
Yeah. What about you, Janie?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about this. I come from a very traditional upbringing with family, and my mom's mother, my grandmother, Jody left. My mom's,
Sorry.
Oh, that's right. My mom's mom, we all lived in the same town. Every year, starting about a month before Christmas, on Sundays after church, all of us grandkids, there were 7 of us, went over to her apartment. And we practiced, we would do a Christmas play for our parents. And
that's fun.
Oh, it's great, and my grandmother made these amazing costumes out of drapery and,
Now we know where you got it.
And she would cover football helmets with things for like the Kings. And, I mean, it was just amazing. And then we would go to candlelight service at church. And every year she made us this new pair of knitted slippers, and they had the little, ball thing on the top of it. And she used the scratchiest yarn. And they just drove our feet nuts, but we wore them. And in fact, I still even have, my mom sent all of us cousins about a week ago a couple of pictures that she had run across of us, doing the Christmas play, and my girl cousin was one of the, if I can find some of them, I'll send you guys a few of them. They are hysterical. But I mean, we were memorizing scripture. When I was 9, I played Mary, and I had to memorize the Magnificat.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Holy moly is right. But traditions that I have, and can you, I don't know if you guys, can you see this little pin? It's a Santa pin with it's got
Oh,
like
yeah.
rhinestones and stuff on it. Well, when we were little, my mom and my grandmother had given my mom and my aunt each one of these. I don't know where she got them. And on Christmas Day, they always wore these pins, and I always thought they looked so fancy. And when I grew up, I wanted a pin too, but I never got them. My auntie passed away back in 2011, and so my mom snagged this out of my aunt's, jewelry and said, "Here, Janie, you need."
Hmm.
So I was telling,
Mm.
I was telling Rod. I mean, I have all of our ornament decorations, and our tree really does tell a story of Rod's and my life, and with the kids and everything. So I have to back up a bit. So I told Rod, I said, I just want to take the camera around and go, this is my favorite, and then this is my favorite, and then this is my favorite. So anyway, but to back up for just a second, when we used to go to Neskowin. Jody, you know right where that is because it's near Telemark.
Yes, I do.
And this one place that we used to stay in, there was a sign in the bathrooms at this place, and the manager had put up it. It said, "Do not flush, etc., of women down the toilet." That's something.
What?
Yeah, do not flush, etc., of women down the toilet. So we have, in our family, we have laughed about that quite a bit. Don't flush, etc., of women down the toilet. So my brother came to stay with us in 2008, and to help because Rod had just had some big surgeries, blah, blah, blah. He was in the airport in Chicago, and he was kind of looking around, and in one of the gift shops there, they had these travel sizes of Midol.
Oh.
And since Midol is from women, look what it says up at the top.
Etc.
So David bought this, and he brought it to us, and he gave it to me, and I said, that is going on our Christmas tree. We hang this on the tree. So
That's so
that's
funny.
hilarious.
anyway, yeah, I come from kind of a funny family.
Good memories.
Yeah. So then the last question that we had that we thought would be kind of fun is if now that you both have been and experienced these groups, if you had to describe to somebody a short version of what these groups are like, how would you describe that to somebody that doesn't know anything about what these groups are?
I would just say it's a group of encouraging women that are right along with me in this journey.
That's awesome. I love that. Marie, what about you?
I think I would say it's a group of empathetic and empathetic women who are interested in having a healthy life and a joyful life. Because, I mean, everybody's so encouraging.
Yeah.
And for someone who tends to be depressed, that's really important.
Yep.
I would agree.
Yep.
Well, then I think Mary and I are leading in the right direction.
Yay.
That's what we
Yes,
are, all of you
indeed.
guys. I mean, that is why we are here, is to encourage and edify and help, and it's not about perfection. We're all in this. It's about progress, and having a platform where we can come and we can be ourselves, and we don't have to pretend, to be
Judgment-free zone.
Judgment-free zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's worth a mint.
Exactly.
I think so too. So anyway.
Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight and sharing a little bit of your evening with us and your traditions and
we appreciate you so much. I mean, we would not be doing what we're doing if it wasn't for you guys. And we just
that's right.
appreciate your trust, your belief in these. Can you hear the music?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you too.
Well,
I appreciate you too.
it's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So on that note, we'll stop the recording and we will end this meeting. Well, not a meeting, but end this time together.
Our happy hour.
Our happy hour.
Your happy hour, yeah. Our happy half hour.
So it's been great. I've loved every minute of it. So very fun.
Me too.
Good to hang out with you.
All right. You guys have
Okay,
a
you
great
guys
evening.
have a great, you too. Bye-bye.
Thanks for getting
Bye-bye.
on. Bye-bye.